Hey everybody, welcome to Marketing Monday. I'm glad you guys are here. And today I'm actually really excited. Bill might be able to hop in, he might not. He's traveling at the moment, but I really want to talk about artificial intelligence. And we actually get comments all the time saying two things about AI. One, that they can't really control how it's writing, right? It's too verbose, it sounds too robotic, it sounds very artificial in the artificial intelligence side. And then the second part of that we hear a lot is that it's not detailed enough for what we want it to do. So today I'm going to show you kind of the ways that we get around that, some of the tricks that we use inside of ChatGPT to help us write better content, and then kind of the flow behind that. And so one thing I always want to remind people that we're not basically just using ChatGPT and then copying and pasting what's in ChatGPT straight into our listing, our description, our emails, or anything like that. What we're doing is we're using ChatGPT to help us get most of the way there, and then we're adding in the extra touches, the extra flavor, the extra little bit. So ChatGPT can get me 95% of the way there, then I can focus on getting the extra, that little 5%, the extra little bit, the extra personal bit. That's what I want to spend my time focusing on instead of doing the initial 95%. And so I'm gonna share my screen. We're gonna dive into this a little bit here. I'm gonna show you our ChatGPT. And so for each property, we have a ChatGPT log, basically. And the way ChatGPT works, for those of you who don't really know AI, is that it's learning a bunch of stuff. ChatGPT is more general, so I could ask it anything from copywriting to marketing to how to make cookies, right? It knows a little bit of everything, but it doesn't know about your specific property. So part of what we're doing is trying to get it to know and understand the specific property we want to talk about or have it write content for, and then it writes better content about that property. And so what most people do is they kind of start like this. They would start a brand new chat. I'll start a new chat over here. And then they start a brand new chat, and then they would do something like, write a listing description for a riverfront property on the Stillwater Lake. I'm sorry, river in Olney, Montana, right? Something super generic. And then they get some feedback on it, but it doesn't know, right? So there's a lot of things it doesn't know because I wasn't specific enough with it. It's listing. Does that mean a real estate listing? Does that mean a short-term rental listing? I know it knows nothing about the property besides where it's located at, because I said the word Stillwater River, Olney, Montana, but it knows nothing else about it. Is there a deck? Is there a patio? Is there a hot tub? It knows none of that information. And so what we do is I kind of flip the script. What was happening for a long time, you can kind of see we use this a lot. I'm gonna go all the way back to the top here. What we start with is, instead of me making some content and then me adjusting a little bit what ChatGPT does and then keep doing that over and over again, kind of flip the script on it. So this is like when Bill talks about the golden sales question. This is my golden ChatGPT question. You're a marketing expert preparing to create content for a short-term rental in Olney, Montana on the Stillwater River. So I'm giving it some context. You'll be creating social content, real content, messaging, ads, and more. What 10 questions do you need answered to write the best possible content? And it will give me the 10 questions. This is super similar to if you hired a marketing agency and you actually went through to look at, okay, are they going to take over? Are they going to write some content? Are they going to do some listing optimization? What are they going to do? They're going to know these same things about the property. What are the key features of it? Bedrooms, bathrooms, amenities, any unique selling points or USPs or unique selling propositions. That's the other way we phrase that. What's the overall aesthetic of the property? Is it rustic, modern, cozy? Is it elegant? Is it older? Is it very lake house? Is it beachy? Give it some idea of the property. When I say close to Stillwater River, like how close are we talking? Other popular activities, attractions nearby. This is where you can add in some of your favorite places in here, as well as it can pull some general information. What are nearby amenities, grocery stores, restaurants, gas stations, blah, blah, blah. Specific target audience, meaning so far, do you have families, single couples? Do you have snowbirds? Like what are the things that are your ideal guest? Any other unique things that guests do during their stay? What's availability? I kind of ignore this question, doesn't matter as much. Notable landmarks, a point of interest that could be highlighted, and then anything specific in brand messaging. So I kind of answered some of the things: bedroom, 2.5, large ensuite, Traeger, fire pit, hot tub, kayak. So all this, right? I answered all of its questions. And the more detail I go in answering these questions, the better it will be able to provide me rock solid content back to me, right? So that's kind of, when I think about this, when I think about ChatGPT or any other of these models, these artificial intelligences, I kind of think of them like I'm talking to a virtual assistant. And so in some of the ways you talk to a virtual assistant, you are very, very specific. You give them feedback that's very specific and detailed, because what I'm trying to do is not let it think as much. I'm letting it put all the pieces of the puzzle together. And so sometimes I need to give it more pieces to the puzzle. Sometimes I need to just make some small adjustments. So the same way I talk to a virtual assistant or talk to a person that was doing all this work, I'm talking to ChatGPT in a similar way. And so, so it gives me kind of a blanket response. I named the property. All the properties have a brand. Let me move this thing, see this bear. All the properties have a brand. So I named it. And then I had it build me a buyer persona. So this is the first step where I'm trying to adjust. And we haven't talked about buyer personas in a while, but this is when Bill talks about Wealthy Wendy or Wealthy Walter. This is the person, the ideal person who stays at our property. Who are they? How old are they? What's their occupation? Where they typically live? Key characteristics about them. This is a buyer persona, or a fictional representation of an ideal buyer. What is a person, or the person who would typically stay at your property? Because then when you start building out assets, you're speaking to this person. And same thing for email, same thing for your listing optimization. You're not speaking to people in general. You're speaking to a individual person. Is it the mother? Is it the father? Do they have kids? Do they not have kids? How old are they? All that will change. So if you have, example, property in downtown Nashville where you're catering to bachelorettes, you're going to speak and present things in a completely different way than you might for this property, Lodge 93, which is in Olean, Montana, which is riverfront. It's all about that scenic beauty and relaxation, which is still different than the Glacier. We have Bill's a property. It's a condo right by the entrance to Glacier National Park. That's still a different buyer. Not that it's a ton different, but there's still a different person you're speaking to. So it kind of builds that out. And so the cool thing about ChatGPT is that over time it learns. So the more feedback I give it, the more I pour into it, the more it learns about this property. And so I'm going to go through and do some common things. I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom because I do need to add some stuff to it. As you guys know, Bill always does updates to things. So one of the things that he's added is I'm going to have to Google how to spell this right. Geodesic dome. Yep, that's how you spell it. Okay. Geodesic dome with scope and a barrel sauna and added to the property. So the cool thing about this is, like I said, it learns telescope right by the river. There we go. So it continues to learn over time. That way it knows that there's other things in here. So what are the common things that we write, right? So let's give it a compelling description to be used in the listing on Airbnb for our buyer persona, highlighting someone should visit I'll use only in this one. Okay. So what I'm saying is, instead of just write a description, I'm trying to give it more information, right? Write a compelling description that's used in a listing on Airbnb for our buyer persona, so it knows who I'm speaking to, highlighting key amenities, and why someone should visit only in Montana. And now I'm going to have it, based on all of its information, it's going to start to create some things out. So welcome to Lodge 93 Ultimate Retreat, nestled along the picturesque Stillwater River in Olean, Montana. We're seeing a cozy escape. The outdoor adventures are simply a place to reconnect with nature. Lodge 93 offers everything you need for an unforgettable stay. Then it kind of goes into hot tub, dome and telescope, barrel sauna, waterfront fun, kayaking, paddleboards, outdoor adventures. Why does it know all this? Because I've given it a lot of this information, and then I could start to, this is where the conversation happens. I can start to have it write other things. So write a paragraph, so if I can spell, about activities in Whitefish, Montana. So again, I can keep adding to having a conversation. Okay, well, what else is close here? Write a paragraph about Glacier National Park. So again, it's starting to write some more content. So combine the listing description with the national park. Got less than Grammarly. Okay. So then it keeps adding, and we keep having this paragraph, right? So I can start to expand on it. Again, the more information I give it, the better it will go. So if I actually put in here, bedroom 1 is this, bedroom 2 is this, bedroom 3 is this, the master has this. It's a brand new appointed, a built out bathroom with a soaking tub and this and that. The more information I give it, the better it can write for me. So this is just a really quick example of how you can write. And so one of the common things I hear is it sounds too robotic, right? So some of the reason why you're not seeing a ton of that here, and there's some borderline stuff, but it really isn't that bad. Some of that's because I keep feeding it content and it's seeing how I'm writing, and so it's understanding a little bit better that it's not going overboard. So one thing I'll say sometimes is make it more compelling. And so you'll start to see that it can get a little too much, like lavish master suite, ensuite bathroom, all relaxation. Even then, that's not too bad. Melt away the days of adventures, our private hot tub, perfectly positioned on the deck, offer breathtaking views of the river or the cosmos. See, it really doesn't get that bad. What usually happens when it goes overboard, and you can still tell it, bring it back and simplify language, more human. So if you ever get to a place where it's like it goes a little too far for you, then you can always tell it, hey, bring it back a notch. Let's take it back and make things a little more human, right? That's a one way to I can kind of do some direct, only offers an idyllic mix of peaceful riverfront serenity and thrilling adventure. And this one changed only as a perfect mix of peaceful riverside relaxation and exciting adventure. So it kind of changes a couple words in there to kind of simplify it and make it a little less highbrow or hoity-toity, that kind of thing. And again, it's just having a conversation. The whole thing about ChatGPT or any of the AIs is that you give it input, it gives you output. So it doesn't give you the right output. That means you need to adjust either how you're asking it in the input or give it more information so it can make better input. So we talk about what are the other common things we want to do. Okay, so I say I want to do image captions. This is one of the things it's really good at. Write an image caption for the Airbnb listing, the living room with large windows overlooking the river and oversized couch. Oops. So I was going to put hashtags every time you say caption. It's going to think it's going to think more Instagram than anything else. So that's just easy to ignore. Because they're soaking reviews, our living room features large windows overlooking the tranquil Stillwater River, spacious oversized comfort for relaxing after a day of adventure. So these are when we talk about using your captions or your space for captions instead of just saying, living room with views or something like that. These are the type of things that we say or want to say, and you can quickly, like I said, the point of using any of these tools isn't to have it completely replace us, but it's to get us most of the way there. So I can make some adjustments. This one's honestly not that bad. I'm gonna make some minor adjustments or highlight something else. I have to look at the pictures to go through and specifically adjust some things. This is where I'll look at a picture. I'll literally have on this center screen or vice versa. One screen I'll have all the pictures, and the other screen I'll have ChatGPT open, and then I'll talk with it and kind of for ones that I need a little more extra on, or even sometimes I'll take a caption in, put it in here, and let it rewrite it to give it a little more oomph if I'm trying to get some more detail across it. So listing, image captions. Another great thing to use ChatGPT for is writing emails or messaging. So again, the more content you give it, the more information it has. So if I actually put in our existing welcome message, I'm not going to do that because it contains guest codes and addresses and all that. But Rails and that's close enough. So I said, write a welcome message for a future guest, including reservations to make and other plans to line up like hiking trails and fishing guides before they arrive. Looking at Lodge 93, upcoming stay, screen Stillwater River. If you have the best possible experience, I wanted to share some helpful information and suggestions to make your visit unforgettable. Dining reservations, and this is where I'm letting it do 95% of the work, and then I can go in and say, this is one of our favorite restaurants at Whitefish. Boom. Or for a dinner, or boom, place for breakfast. And so instead of me thinking, I need to include two, I should include a breakfast and a dinner, I can say specifically, hey, if there's specific hiking trails I like, I could pop them in here as well, or my personal family favorite, or a lot of things we do in Gulf Shores is we do we'll say very specific, go to the Gulf and have the lobster roll and grab a spicy margarita because that's Bria's favorite. Just those things that are personable. So I'm trying to use ChatGPT here to get me most of the way there. And then I'm using the last little bit to add in our specifics or our experience knowing that this particular market in this particular area can take me all the way there. And so it's kind of super simple. Like I said, the more information you feed it, the better it can give you content. So that is a welcome message, for example. But say I want to write an email. So this is kind of where the 200-day funnel, the emails themselves, portions of them came from ChatGPT because we're trying to get a little bit of content in there, but we also want some customized portions of it. So we'll use ChatGPT, get us most of the way there, then we'll add in the rest of our stuff. So I could say, write an email to a previous guest, inviting them back for ski season. Oops, that's great for. By the way, the one ChatGPT, the Hope This Message Finds You Well is like the default ChatGPT way of starting an email. So you start just, we are brimming with excitement for the upcoming winter seasons. So invite past guests. They'll invite you back for unforgettable ski season in beautiful Montana. I think it's a perfect winter retreat, cozy lodge, ideal base camp, blah, blah, blah. Barrel stomps, I guess into the telescope. Daily nearby trails. If you're on a resort, short drive away, skiing snowboard in the region, blah, blah, blah. So you can see how quickly it can get me most of the way there. Then I could add in, family picture. I could add in Bill and Bria on the slopes. I could add in, a picture of the barrel sauna. You've been skiing all day, your legs are toast, hopping in the sauna at night and just letting the steam relax and all that kind of stuff. And so you can see how quickly and easily, and that's the point, and that's the reason I want to highlight some of these tools. At the end of the day, we only have so much time in the day. And I have so much time in the day to write content, to message guests, work with cleaners, to do renovations, work with the handyman, deal with the latest emergency because a guest leaves the water running and totally destroys a bathroom. Like there's 1,000 things that happen that take up a ton of our time as hosts. And my goal with sharing ChatGPT and the way we use it with y'all is to get you from thinking, okay, this is just something that's going to kind of sort of write some stuff, to thinking, hey, this thing can do some heavy lifting for me, can get me most of the way there for emails, for social content, for messaging. You have a guest that's responds that's a little heated. Sometimes we have to take ourselves out of that. ChatGPT is awesome for stuff like that. You can kind of take the emotion out of it, let it respond well based on your information. I will pull this up all the time. Like, hey, this is a message from a guest. Write a kind response that, but be firm, and we're not, offering a refund, that kind of thing. And then they can write a better, calmer response than we do, as we get heated in the moment during all those things. And so I just want to show you some of that. Some of how we use it, some of the ways that we speed up the process. It doesn't replace us. We still know the market the best. We still know all the details, the information, but my goal is to let it get me most of the way there so that I can spend my time on the little things that can make the big difference. Things like restaurant recommendations and who our fishing guide is. We go out there and our favorite runs on the Whitefish Mountain Resort for skiing, if you're a little more adventurous, or our favorite hiking trails in Glacier National Park, or all those things. Those are the personalized elements that I really want to hammer home. ChatGPT will never be able to do that kind of stuff. It just won't. It can give you some suggestions and give some general ideas. The more popular area is, the more information it can pull and snag and grab, because that information exists out there. And I could feed it a bunch of information. I could drop in, Yelp's top 10 restaurants in this particular market into here. I could drop in, local restaurants or activities or upcoming calendars, so that I can feed it a ton of information that's specific. And I will do that, and we do that all the time. But it still will never replace us and our unique experiences and our ability to take things to the next level, to share our personal your favorite restaurants, favorite dishes, favorite things to do, little shortcuts, the things you learn when you actually visit these locations and spend time in Olney, Montana, and Whitefish, Montana, or Gulf Shores, or Banner Elk, or any of these other places. I think that's one thing that, if I ever want to say the kind of is the difference maker, why Bill and we are able to host at the level we're able to host, it's because we're actually go and are experts in all of these markets. It's not like we go to a market and don't really know where things are, how to get to things, where our favorite restaurants are, the shortcuts, the secret stores that have this, the place to find that. We know all this information, and then we're able to pass it along to the guest and give them an even better experience. The home is an incredible experience. It's super clean, all the amenities, all the hosting side, but this is that extra. This is the building relationship stuff. This is the going the extra mile stuff. And we talk about these are the plus ones. And I think Bill and I have talked about the story in a while, but we have an incredible hotel here in Nashville, the Hermitage Hotel, 5-star, 5 diamond. I believe it's still the only one in the state of Tennessee, or one of two in the state of Tennessee, definitely the only one in Nashville. And we both know the general manager. Bill has an incredible relationship with her. And back in Bill's former life, when he did a lot of ground transportation, for them to service the Hermitage Hotel, they had to go through training with the Hermitage Hotel staff. And one of the big things the staff does to this day is called plus ones. And so we kind of took this moniker and applied it to all the businesses that we have as this unexpected bonus to delight and surprise. That's the idea of a plus one. And so in the properties, there are +1s all over the place. There are things that we show, there are things that we highlight, and there are things that we hide. There are things that maybe are said inside of reviews and such things if someone digs deeply, but things like s'mores kits for properties that have fire pits, things like the way Bria decorates in the winter to make it a little more cozier. In the fall, the decorations change as well, so they do again in the spring. There's a lot of things that are just these added +1s or surprises, the welcome gifts, and all of them have a story. And so I want you all to, as I'm going to kind of wrap up, and obviously if you guys have any questions, please pop them in the chat. I'd be happy to answer them. I really want to take that away too. That's not just about doing something to do something. It's about doing something to share a piece of you as a host, as a story. It's a big difference of what we do with short-term rentals and what you get when you go to a hotel. If you go to the Holiday Inn, it's quite a different experience if you stay at a JW Marriott or a Four Seasons, where they do a little more research, or the Hermitage Hotel, where they do a lot of research on you and they know a little bit more about you. And it's just this elevated level experience where you feel known. It's something we're able to provide as short-term rental hosts, but it takes us not seeing a guest as transactional and seeing them as a person, as a family staying and in a home that we get to share with them and share our experience and share our local knowledge and share what makes the reason we chose this property. That's because it's cash flows, and not because the numbers looked right, but because this area is incredible and it's a great place to have a home. And little things like using words like our family home or our family, and just those little extra things is really hammer home the relationship side of what we do. It's not just a transaction. It really is building a relationship. And when you build relationships, that's how you recover when you have issues, when there's problems, because there's bound to something happen at some point in time. Someone makes a mistake, cleaner makes a mistake, something breaks, things happen. But the more you build a relationship, the more you're able to recover, the more you're able to keep someone satisfied, and the more 5-star reviews you'll get, even when things go wrong, because you took the time, built the relationship, and they're more than just a number to you. They're a guest staying in your home, you're taking care of and sharing this incredible experience with. So thank you all for being here this Marketing Monday. We'll circle back. This might be Marketing Monday next week from the mastermind meeting. Bill and I will probably try to sneak away and do the call with y'all. But thank you. Thank you for being here. As always, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out in the Facebook group or email us at team@buildstwealth.com. I'd be happy to chat with you about all that. And if for those of you who don't, how the heck do I pop the my lower third up? I don't know if I can. Hang on. We'll figure this out in a second. Maybe I can't pop it up. No, maybe not. Okay. Anyways, you can follow me on Instagram. My Instagram, CWharty, CWHARTY. I've been playing with posting reels recently. They're all social media and content focused, whether it's video, photography, pretty much everything we do on Marketing Monday. I post reels on that. And so I wonder, can I pop it up this or in our show, edit avatar? Nope, can't pop it in there. Oh, never mind. Apparently it's not possible. I don't know how to pop my little information back up on here. Oh, there we go. There we go. CWharty. But follow me on Instagram. I've been posting a lot of content about marketing, short-term rentals, all that kind of stuff. And I love for you guys to get that information. It's just a different way we present it. A little more fun, a little more tongue-in-cheek sometimes, but I'd love for you guys to follow me over there. You're going to follow Bill. His is Bill Faith 73 as well. So thank you all for being here. It's a great Monday as always. I'll catch you guys next Monday. See y'all.